We have a few applications that I would like you to see about using proportions and percentages. For example, we have this view of the Earth and the inside of the Earth. If you didn't know, there's the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. And we know essentially how thick each of those parts are and what percent of the Earth they make up. So the core makes up 31.5%, both the inner and the outer together, of the Earth's mass. The mantle makes up 68.1%. That's this big yellow part in the middle. That's a lot of the Earth. And even though the crust is 20 to 30 miles thick, it only makes up a very small proportion of the mass, the remaining 0.4%. So if the total mass of the Earth is this 5.94 times 10, or 5.9742 times 10 to the 24th kilograms, what's the mass of the Earth's crust? So we want to know, I have a couple of things I need to talk to you about. So the mass of the Earth's crust is written as 5.9742 times 10 to the 24th kilograms. Now, that's scientific notation, and what that's telling you is that since that it's got a positive exponent, that I have a very, very big number, and it's got 24 decimal places to the right of where this decimal place is. So where that decimal is, I have to go to the right 24 times. That makes a very, very large number, and so you can see why we might want to write it in scientific notation, because we can show it in a much smaller space. Now, your calculator handles scientific notation beautifully, and it's because of this little EE button right here. And we use that button to help us enter scientific notation. So I'm going to put in that 5.9742 just as I would any other decimal, 5.9742. And then I need the EE button, so I'm going to do second EE, and then it puts a little E on my display, and then I type in the 24 for that exponent, and then I push enter, and it's showing it on my calculator. If you've got the same one as me, it's showing 5.9742, a little bitty times 10, and then a 24 up high from that. And that shows you that you've got it entered correctly. So I have that on my calculator. We can use it here in a minute, but that's how you enter scientific notation. So I want to know the Earth's crust, which is 0.4% of the total mass, which is the 5.9742 times 10 to the 24th. That's going to give me how much mass is in our crust for our Earth. Now, that 0.4%, I either have to convert to a decimal, so I'm going to write over here 0.4% is 0.4 divided by 100, which will give me 0.004. Or you can do 0.4 and then do the second and the left parenthesis button on your calculator, and that'll convert 0.4 into a percent for you. So we can do that either way, but what I need to do is multiply this 0.004 times this 5.9742 times 10 to the 24th. And so I think I'll start over on this whole calculation so that I can show it to you piece by piece. So I'm going to do 0.4, there's 0.4, and then I'll do the second left parenthesis button, and it shows it as 0.4% now. And then I will just say multiplied by, and then I can type in the 5.9742, and then that EE button, so second to get the EE button, and then the 24. And then the equals, and I end up with 2.38968 times 10 to the 22nd. And so it's giving it back to me in scientific notation, which is probably a good thing, because as you can see, there's 22 places that I have to move that decimal to the right to make that number standard notation. So that is the mass of the Earth's crust. Pretty thick. It's a lot of mass there.